The entire wedding hall went silent when the Korean billionaire stood up and announced that he was marrying the Nigerian woman everyone had rejected. Esther John could barely believe what she was hearing. Only minutes earlier, his family had looked at her with disgust. They had whispered that she wasn't good enough for him. They had called her an outsider. Some had even begged him to cancel the wedding. But now, the most powerful man in the room was standing beside her, holding her hand in front of hundreds of guests. "I don't care what any of you think," he said coldly. "Esther is the woman I had chosen." Esther's eyes filled with tears. She looked at the man she had never expected to love. "Why me?" she whispered. He looked into her eyes, and his answer made her heart stop. "Because there is something about you that you don't know yet." Esther froze. "What do you mean?" He leaned closer and whispered something only she could hear. Her face suddenly changed. Because the reason this billionaire had chosen her was connected to a secret her mother had taken to the grave. And before the night was over, Esther would discover that her marriage had never been a coincidence. But what she didn't know was that the man she was about to fall deeply in love with had been protecting her long before she ever knew his name. And when she finally discovered the real reason he chose her, she would have to decide whether their love was strong enough to survive the truth. Welcome to Afrokorea Seoul Stories, where powerful Korean romance meets unforgettable African love stories. Here, we bring you emotional stories filled with love, sacrifice, suspense, family secrets, unexpected twists, and relationships that cross every boundary. So, if you love stories about powerful Korean men, strong Nigerian women, deep romance, and secrets that keep you watching until the very end, you're in the right place. Now, let's begin Esther's story. The Korean billionaire married a Nigerian woman everyone rejected, and this is the story of why he really chose her. The entire ballroom went silent when Kang Min-jae walked through the doors. He was the kind of man who could make 200 people stop talking without saying a single word. Tall, immaculately dressed in a black tuxedo, cold, controlled, and impossibly handsome. He was the heir to one of South Korea's most powerful business empires. And tonight, every woman in the room wanted his attention. But Min-jae wasn't looking at any of them. His eyes were fixed on one woman standing alone beside the service entrance. Esther John. She was wearing a simple black dress that didn't belong among the expensive gowns surrounding her. Her dark brown skin glowed beneath the chandelier lights. Her natural black hair was neatly styled, and there was something quietly elegant about the way she stood. She wasn't trying to attract anyone. She wasn't looking for attention. In fact, she looked like she desperately wanted to disappear. But Min-jae couldn't stop looking at her, because 10 minutes earlier, he had watched Esther do something nobody else in that ballroom had done. She had defended his mother, and now, because of it, she was about to lose her job. "Get out," the event manager snapped. Esther lowered her eyes. "I'm sorry. You embarrassed one of our most important guests." "I wasn't trying to." "I don't care what you were trying to do. You are a temporary employee. People like you should understand where you belong." Several guests turned to watch. Esther swallowed hard. "I understand." She turned to leave. Then a man's voice stopped the entire room. "Wait!" Esther froze. She slowly turned around. Kang Min-jae was walking toward her. The manager immediately straightened. "Mr. Kang, I'm sorry. There was a misunderstanding. I wasn't talking to you." The manager went silent. Min-jae stopped directly in front of Esther. For the first time, she looked directly into his eyes. And something happened that neither of them expected. His expression softened, only slightly, but enough for Esther to notice. "Did you really say those words to my mother?" he asked. Esther looked confused. I only told her the truth." "What truth?" Esther hesitated. Then she glanced toward an elderly woman sitting at one of the tables. She wasn't being treated properly. Min-jae followed her gaze. His mother was sitting alone. Her glass of water had been knocked onto the table earlier, and none of the staff had noticed. Esther had been the only person who stopped to help her. She had even given the woman her own handkerchief. Min-jae looked back at Esther. "Why did you interfere?" Esther gave a small smile. "Because she needed help." "You knew who she was?" "No." "You didn't know she was my mother?" "No." "Then why did you help her?" Esther looked at him as though the question itself was strange. Because she was a person who needed help. Min Jae said nothing. For the first time in years, someone had given him an answer he couldn't buy, threaten, or manipulate. Esther picked up her small handbag. If that's all, I should go. She turned. Esther. She stopped. Her heart skipped. She hadn't told him her name. She turned back slowly. How do you know my name? Min Jae looked toward the employee badge hanging around her neck. Your badge. Oh. She smiled awkwardly. Then she walked away. Min Jae watched her disappear through the doors. Something about her bothered him. Not because she had offended him. Because she hadn't been impressed by him. She hadn't looked at his expensive suit. She hadn't asked for his number. She hadn't tried to flirt with him. She had simply helped an old woman because she believed it was the right thing to do. And Min Jae couldn't understand why that stayed in his mind. That night, he would discover that Esther John was not just a temporary waitress. She was about to become the most important woman in his life. But neither of them knew it yet. 3 days later, Esther stood outside a small cafe in Seoul, staring at her phone. Her manager had officially terminated her contract. She had no savings. Her rent was due in 5 days. And the worst part was that she couldn't afford to send money back home to Nigeria that month. She closed her eyes. God, please help me. Are you okay? Esther opened her eyes. A young Korean woman was standing beside her. Yes, Esther replied quickly. The woman smiled. You don't look okay. Esther laughed softly. I'm just having a difficult day. The woman nodded sympathetically before walking away. Esther looked at her phone again. Then she heard a car stop beside the curb. A black luxury sedan. The rear door opened. Esther barely noticed it until a familiar voice spoke. Esther. She froze. She turned. Kang Min Jae stepped out of the car. Her eyes widened. You. He smiled. It was the first time she had ever seen him smile. And strangely, it made him look less intimidating. Me. What are you doing here? I came to see you. Esther frowned. Why? Min Jae looked at the cafe behind her. Have you eaten? She blinked. What? Have you eaten today? Esther looked away. Yes. He studied her face. You're lying. I am not. You just looked at the cafe menu for 30 seconds. Esther's cheeks warmed. You noticed that? I notice everything. She laughed. That's a dangerous thing to say. For a moment, Min Jae simply looked at her. Then he said quietly, Come with me? Where? To eat. I can't. Why? Because I don't know you. He nodded. Fair. He reached into his pocket, took out his phone, and showed her something. It was a photograph of his mother. Esther recognized her immediately. She's been asking about you. Esther's expression changed. Is she okay? She is. Good. She wanted to thank you. Esther smiled. You don't have to bring me anywhere. Just tell her she's welcome. Min Jae stared at her. Then, unexpectedly, he said, I would like to thank you too. For what? For reminding me that kindness still exists. Esther didn't know what to say. He opened the car door. Just dinner. She hesitated. Then she smiled. One dinner. Min Jae smiled back. One dinner. Neither of them knew it yet, but that dinner would become the beginning of something neither money, family, or power would be able to stop. Because by the end of that night, Kang Min Jae would look at Esther differently. And Esther would begin to discover something she had never expected to find in Seoul. A man who didn't just want to possess her attention. A man who genuinely wanted to take care of her. Esther sat quietly in the back of Kang Min Jae's car, staring through the window at Seoul's glowing streets. She still couldn't understand why she had agreed to this. She barely knew him. He was wealthy, powerful, and surrounded by people who probably earned more in a month than she had seen in years. And yet, there was something strangely calm about sitting beside him. Min Jae noticed that she had become quiet. Are you uncomfortable? Esther turned toward him. A little. Because of me? She smiled. Because of everything. He looked at her. You can tell me to stop the car. I know, and I'll take you home. Esther nodded. There was a short silence. Then Min Jae quietly said, I don't want you to feel pressured by me. Esther looked at him. For some reason, those words touched her. She had met wealthy people before. Usually they expected obedience. Min Jae was different. He was giving her a choice. "I'll stay," she said. He nodded. "Thank you." The restaurant was on the top floor of a luxury hotel overlooking the Han River. When Esther entered, she stopped. "Min Jae?" "Yes." "This place is too expensive." He smiled. "Then don't look at the prices." She laughed. "That's easy for you to say." "I know." They sat near the window. The city stretched beneath them, thousands of lights reflecting across the river. A waiter approached. Min Jae ordered several dishes. Then he looked at Esther. "What do you like?" She hesitated. "Anything is fine." "No." He shook his head. "I asked what you like." Esther smiled. "Jollof rice." "Jollof rice." "Yes." "Is that Nigerian?" She nodded. "Very Nigerian." "Then one day, you'll have to cook it for me." Esther laughed. "You're already planning for a second dinner?" Min Jae looked directly into her eyes. "Yes." She became quiet. There was something about the way he said it. Not arrogant, not playful, almost sincere. The food arrived. As they ate, Min Jae asked about her life. Esther told him about Nigeria, about her family, about coming to Korea, about how difficult it had been to build a life so far from home. Min Jae listened. He didn't interrupt. He didn't look at his phone. He simply listened. When she finished, he asked, "Do you miss home?" "Every day." "Then why stay?" Esther looked toward the window. "Because sometimes you have to struggle for the life you dream about." Min Jae stared at her. "What do you dream about?" Esther smiled. "A peaceful life. That's all. And someone who genuinely loves me." The words escaped before she could stop them. She looked embarrassed. "Sorry. Don't apologize." His voice was gentle. "Everyone deserves that." Esther looked at him. "And you?" Min Jae's expression changed. "What about me? Do you have someone?" He looked down at his glass. "No." "Why?" "Because most people love what I have." Esther understood. "They don't love you?" "I don't know." She studied him. "Maybe you've never allowed anyone to know you." Min Jae looked up. Their eyes met. Neither spoke. For several seconds, the noise of the restaurant seemed to disappear. Then Esther smiled nervously and looked away. Min Jae smiled too. Something had changed. Neither of them said it, but both felt it. After dinner, Min Jae insisted on taking Esther home. When they reached her small apartment, he noticed the building. His expression tightened. "This is where you live?" Esther nodded. "Yes." He looked at the old building. "You should move." She laughed. "With what money?" "I can help." "No." He looked at her. "Why not?" "Because I don't want you to think I'm accepting your money because you took me to dinner." Min Jae smiled. "You really think that's what I think?" "I don't know what you think." He stepped closer. Not too close. Just enough for Esther to feel his presence. "I think you're stubborn." She laughed. "That's not very romantic." "I think you're kind." Her smile faded slightly. "I think you're stronger than you realize." She looked into his eyes. "And I think—" He paused. Esther waited. "I think I want to see you again." Her heart began beating faster. "You do?" "Yes." He reached into his pocket and handed her a small card. "My number." She took it. "Good night, Esther." "Good night, Min Jae." She entered the building. But before she closed the door, she turned around. He was still standing there, watching her. She smiled. He smiled back. Only after the door closed did Min Jae finally turn toward his car. His driver looked at him through the mirror. "Sir?" "Yes." "You're smiling." Min Jae's expression immediately became serious. "Drive?" The driver tried not to laugh. "Yes, sir." The next morning, Esther woke up to the sound of her phone. 7:15 a.m. A message from Min Jae. "Did you sleep well?" Esther stared at the screen. She smiled. She typed, "Yes." "Did you?" His reply came almost immediately. "Better than usual." She laughed quietly. Then another message appeared. "Have you eaten breakfast?" Esther shook her head. "Not yet." His reply came quickly. Wait downstairs. She frowned. Why? 3 dots appeared. Then, because I'm bringing you breakfast. Esther's heart fluttered. She quickly got dressed. 20 minutes later, Min Jae's car arrived. He stepped out, carrying a small paper bag. Esther stared at him. You actually came? I said I would. He handed her the bag. Inside was breakfast, and beneath it was a small note. Esther opened it. Don't skip breakfast. You need your strength. She looked up at him. You wrote this? Yes. Why? Because I care about you. Esther became silent. Those words were simple, but they felt different coming from him. She slowly smiled. Thank you. Min Jae nodded. Then Esther surprised him. She reached out and gently straightened his tie. You came all the way here without fixing this. He looked down at her hand, then back into her eyes. I was distracted. By what? You. Esther's cheeks turned red. She quickly pulled her hand away. You're becoming very confident. He smiled. Only around you. And for the first time, Esther realized something frightening. She was beginning to fall for him, and she suspected he was falling for her too. For the next several weeks, Kang Min Jae became a familiar part of Esther John's life, not in a way that frightened her, not in a way that made her feel controlled. He simply appeared. Sometimes there would be a message waiting for her. When she woke up, did you sleep well? Sometimes it was, don't forget your lunch today. And sometimes when she had a difficult day, there would be only 3 words. I'm here for you. Esther never understood how a man as busy as Min Jae found time for her, but he did, and she began doing the same for him. Whenever he had a long meeting, she would send him a message. Don't work too hard. When he traveled for business, she would ask, have you arrived safely? When he told her he had skipped dinner because of work, she would become angry. You're always telling me to eat, she told him one evening over the phone. But you don't even follow your own advice. There was silence on the other end. Then Min Jae laughed. You're scolding me? Yes. I like it. Why? Because it means you care. Esther smiled. I do care. The line became quiet. She realized what she had just admitted. So, I should go. Min Jae laughed softly. Good night, Esther. Good night. She ended the call. Then she placed the phone against her chest. She was falling in love, and she knew it. The frightening part was that she no longer wanted to stop it. One rainy evening, Esther was waiting outside her workplace when Min Jae arrived. She hadn't told him she was finished. You came? I was nearby. She looked at his expensive car. Nearby? Yes. You were nowhere near here. He smiled. Maybe I took a wrong turn. Esther laughed. You're a terrible liar. He stepped toward her and noticed her thin jacket. You're cold. I'm fine. He immediately removed his coat. Min Jae, no. Put on. You'll be cold. I'll survive. She reluctantly accepted it. The coat was warm. It smelled faintly like his cologne. Esther looked up at him. Thank you. He gently brushed a raindrop from her cheek. You don't have to thank me every time I care about you. Her heart skipped. She whispered, I like when you care. His eyes softened. Good. For a moment, neither moved. The rain fell around them. Min Jae slowly reached for her hand. He didn't force it. He simply held it. Esther looked down at their joined hands. Then she tightened her fingers around his. That small gesture meant more to him than she could have imagined, because she was choosing him too. The invitation came unexpectedly. Dinner with my family, Min Jae said. Esther nearly dropped her phone. Your family? Yes. Why? My mother wants to see you. Esther became nervous. Min Jae, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Why? Because your family is... She searched for the right word. Different. He smiled. That's one way to describe them. What, they don't like me? Min Jae's expression became serious. Then they don't have to like you. Esther looked at him. But I like you. Her heart stopped for a second. Min Jae continued. And that's what matters to me. Esther stared at him. He hadn't said love. Not yet. but the way he looked at her made the words unnecessary. She smiled. Okay. That evening, Esther arrived at the Kong family mansion wearing a simple emerald green dress. Min Jae was waiting outside. When he saw her, he stopped. You look beautiful. She smiled. Really? Very. You're staring. I know. She laughed. Let's go inside before you make me nervous. Min Jae offered his hand. She took it. Together, they walked inside. But the moment they entered the dining room, the atmosphere changed. His father looked at Esther without smiling. His older brother, Kong Hyun-woo, stared at their joined hands. And beside him sat a woman Esther had never seen before. She was elegant, beautiful, and clearly uncomfortable. Min Jae noticed Esther's confusion. This is Seo-yeon. Seo-yeon smiled politely, but there was something cold behind her eyes. Esther greeted everyone respectfully. Dinner began. For several minutes, nobody said anything. Then Min Jae's father placed a spoon down. So you're Esther John? Yes, sir. You work a restaurant? I did. You're no longer working there? No. Why? Esther hesitated. Before she could answer, Min Jae spoke. She was dismissed because she defended my mother. His father's expression hardened. I wasn't asking you. Min Jae leaned back. I know. The tension increased. His mother gently touched his father's arm. Please. We invited Esther here to get to know her. His father ignored her. Esther, what exactly do you want from my son? Esther's face became serious. Nothing. He raised an eyebrow. Nothing? I didn't meet Min Jae because of his money. Then why are you still seeing him? Esther looked at Min Jae. He was watching her. She took a breath. Because I care about him. Silence. His father stared at her. Then he laughed quietly. Care? Yes. Do you understand what his life is like? No. Do you understand what happens when someone enters his family? No. Then you have no idea what you're saying. Esther lowered her eyes. But Min Jae reached across the table and took her hand. Everyone saw it. His father frowned. Min Jae looked directly at him. She doesn't need to understand everything tonight. His grip tightened gently around Esther's hand. She only needs to know that she won't face anything alone. Esther looked at him. Her eyes became emotional. She squeezed his hand back. I won't let you face it alone either. Min Jae looked at her. For a moment, the rest of the family disappeared. His mother smiled. But Seo-yeon's expression changed completely. She had been watching them, and she clearly didn't like what she saw. Later that night, Esther stepped outside onto the terrace. She needed air. Min Jae followed her. Are you okay? She nodded. Yes. You're lying. She smiled sadly. You really know me now. I do. She looked toward the city. Your family doesn't want me. Min Jae stood beside her. They don't know you. Your father does not need to know me to know that I don't belong in your world. Min Jae turned toward her. Look at me. She did. You belong wherever you choose to belong. Her eyes became wet. Min Jae? He gently wiped a tear from her cheek. I don't care how much money you have. I know. I don't care where you were born. I know. I care about you. Esther closed her eyes for a moment. Then she stepped closer. She placed her hands against his chest. I care about you too. Min Jae looked at her. Esther? She smiled through her tears. I think I'm falling in love with you. He froze. For a man who controlled billion-dollar companies without fear, those words left him speechless. Then, he gently pulled her into his arms. Esther rested her head against his chest. His arms wrapped around her. He held her carefully, almost as if she were something precious. I've been trying not to say it, he whispered. She looked up. Say what? I love you. Esther's eyes filled with tears. He touched her cheek. I love you, Esther. She smiled. I love you too. And beneath the Seoul night sky, they held each other. Neither of them knew that someone was watching them from inside the mansion. The following morning, Esther woke up with a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in Seoul, she felt genuinely happy. Not because her problems had disappeared. They hadn't. Her finances were still uncertain. She still missed Nigeria. And Min Jae's family clearly didn't want her. But she had something she hadn't expected to find so far from home. Love. Real love. She reached for her phone. There was already a message from Min Jae. Good morning, beautiful. Did you sleep well? Esther smiled. She typed, yes. What about you? His response came almost immediately. I slept well because I knew you were beside me yesterday. Esther covered her face with her pillow. This man. Another message appeared. Come to my office today. I want to see you. She smiled. Are you missing me already? The reply came. Very much. Esther laughed. She had never imagined the cold and intimidating Kong Min Jae could be this affectionate, but there was something she didn't know. While Esther was smiling at his messages, Min Jae was sitting inside his office, staring at a document that had arrived that morning. A document that could change everything. The document. Sir. Min Jae's secretary placed a brown envelope on his desk. What is this? It was delivered from your father's legal department. Min Jae opened it. His expression changed immediately. Inside was an old photograph. A young Nigerian woman stood beside a Korean man. Min Jae stared at the photograph. He recognized the Korean man. It was his father. But the woman, he had never seen her before. Beneath the photograph was a name. Amara John. Min Jae's heart stopped. John, the same surname as Esther. He quickly read the documents beneath the photograph. His father's signature appeared on several pages. There was also an old hospital record, a birth certificate, and one sentence that made Min Jae's hands tighten around the paper. The child was transferred out of the family following the agreement. Min Jae stared at the words. A child? He read the document again. Then again. His secretary noticed his expression. Sir, who gave you this? I don't know. It was delivered anonymously. Find out. Yes, sir. Immediately, his secretary left. Min Jae leaned back in his chair. His heart was pounding. Why was Esther's surname in a document connected to his father? And who was Amara John? Esther arrives. 2 hours later, Esther arrived at Kong Corporation. The receptionist recognized her immediately. Miss John, Mr. Kong is expecting you. Esther smiled. Thank you. She entered his private office. Min Jae was standing near the window, but the moment he saw her, he quickly put the documents away. Esther noticed. You look worried. I'm fine. She walked closer. No, you're not. He looked at her. She gently touched his arm. What's wrong? For several seconds, he didn't answer. Then he pulled her into a hug. Esther was surprised. He held her tightly. Min Jae, I missed you. You saw me yesterday. I know. She smiled against his chest. You're becoming very clingy. I don't care. She laughed. Then she pulled back. Now tell me what's wrong. He looked into her eyes. I found something about my family. What? Something from the past. Esther waited, but he couldn't tell her yet. Not until he knew the truth. Instead, he touched her cheek. Promise me something. What? If anything happens, don't disappear. Esther frowned. Why would I disappear? Just promise me. She smiled. I promise. He kissed her forehead. Good. But neither of them realized that someone outside the office had heard everything. Seo Yun's warning. That afternoon, Esther was walking to the lobby when Seo Yun approached her. Esther stopped. Hello. Seo Yun smiled, but there was no warmth in it. You should leave Min Jae. Esther stared at her. Excuse me. You heard me. I don't understand. Seo Yun stepped closer. You think because he says he loves you, everything will be easy? Esther remained calm. I never said that. You don't belong in his world. Esther's expression hardened. I've heard that before. Then perhaps you should listen. Esther shook her head. No. Seo Yun's smile disappeared. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. Then tell me. Seo Yun hesitated. There are things about Min Jae that you don't know. Everyone has secrets. You don't understand. Then explain. Seo Yun looked around, then whispered. Ask him why he chose you. Esther's heart skipped. What does that mean? Seo Yun turned away. You'll find out. She walked away. Esther stood there confused. Why did he choose me? The question stayed in her mind all evening. The confrontation. That night, Esther met Min Jae at his apartment. He had prepared dinner himself. Esther stared at the table. You cooked. I tried. She smiled. You? Yes. You're a billionaire. I know. And you cooked. I can learn. She laughed. The tension in her heart disappeared for a moment. They sat together. Min Jae watched her eat. Is it good? Esther smiled. It's actually good. Actually? Don't become too proud. He laughed. Then she became quiet. Min Jae. Yes. Can I ask you something? Of course. Why did you choose me? His smile faded. Why are you asking? Someone asked me that today. Who? So-yeon. Min Jae's expression hardened. What did she say? She told me I don't belong in your world. She has no right to say that. She also told me there are things about you I don't know. Min Jae became silent. Esther reached across the table. Look at me. He did. I don't need you to be perfect. His eyes softened. I just need you to be honest with me. He took her hand. I am. Then tell me. Min Jae swallowed. I don't know everything yet. About what? My family. Esther waited. There's something from my father's past that I discovered today. What? I don't know how it connects to you. Esther's heart began beating faster. Connects to me? Yes. What do you mean? He held her hand tighter. I found a woman named Amara John in my father's old documents. Esther froze. Her face changed. Amara John? Yes. She stared at him. My mother's name was Amara. Min Jae's eyes widened. What? My mother was Amara John. Silence. Neither moved. Then Esther whispered, Where'd you find that name? Min Jae looked at her. In my father's documents. Esther's breathing became shallow. Min Jae? He stood. Esther, I need to find out the truth. She stood too. What truth? I don't know yet. She looked frightened. Then find it. I will. He reached for her. She stepped into his arms. He held her tightly. I won't let anything separate us. Esther closed her eyes. Promise? I promise. But somewhere deep inside Min Jae's mind, one terrible possibility had already begun forming. And if that possibility was true, their love story could be built on a secret that had started before either of them was born. The next morning, Min Jae went directly to his father's private residence. He didn't call ahead. He walked into the study and placed a photograph on the desk. Who is she? His father looked at it. His face immediately went pale. Min Jae noticed. You know her. His father said nothing. Dad. Still silence. Who is Amara John? His father slowly sat down. Where did you get that? That doesn't answer my question. His father's hands began to shake. You should leave this alone. Min Jae stepped closer. Why? Because some things are better forgotten. No. His voice became firm. Not when they involve Esther. His father's head snapped upward. Esther? Yes. The older man's face changed completely. Stay away from that girl. Min Jae stared at him. Why? Because you don't know who she is. Then tell me. His father stood. She is connected to something that could destroy this family. Min Jae's jaw tightened. What did you do? His father looked away. And that was when Min Jae understood. His father wasn't afraid of Esther. He was afraid of the truth. Before Min Jae could ask another question, the door opened. His mother stood there. She had heard everything. She looked at her husband, then at her son, and tears slowly filled her eyes. Min Jae. He turned toward her. Mother? She whispered. Your father lied to you for 27 years. Min Jae froze. His mother continued. And Esther's family is part of that lie. The room fell silent. Min Jae's heart pounded. What happened 27 years ago? His mother looked at him with tears in her eyes. Your father promised a woman that he would protect her. She looked down at the photograph. But he didn't. And for the first time, Min Jae realized that Esther's arrival in his life might not have been a coincidence at all. Maybe fate had brought her to him. Maybe his father had been hiding something for decades. Or perhaps someone had deliberately brought Esther into his path. And if so, who? Min Jae stood completely still. His mother's words echoed through the room. Your father lied to you for 27 years. He looked at his father. Tell me the truth. His father remained silent. Dad, I asked you a question. Still nothing. Min Jae's voice became harder. Who was Amara John? His father finally looked up. She was someone I loved. Min Jae's eyes widened. His mother closed her eyes. For the first time, Min Jae saw something he had never seen before. Pain. Deep, old pain. His father continued. Before I married your mother, I met Amara. And she was Nigerian. She was studying in Seoul. Min Jae stared at him. She was intelligent, kind, beautiful. His father looked at the photograph. I loved her. Min Jae's fist tightened. Then what happened? My family found out. His father lowered his head. They rejected her. Why? Because they believed she wasn't suitable for our family. Min Jae shook his head in disbelief. And you listened to them? His father didn't answer. That is what I asked. His father's voice became weak. I was young. You were a coward. The words came out before Min Jae could stop them. His father looked at him. Min Jae continued. You loved her, but you abandoned her because your family told you to? His father looked away. I thought I could fix everything later. Did you? No. The room became silent. Then Min Jae asked the question that terrified him most. What happened to her? His father closed his eyes. She left Korea. Where did she go? I don't know. Don't lie to me. I am not lying. Min Jae turned toward his mother. Mother, you knew about her? His mother nodded slowly. Yes. And you knew about Esther? She looked at him with tears in her eyes. I knew Amara had a child. Min Jae's heart stopped. Esther? His mother nodded. Yes. He took a step backward. For several seconds, he couldn't breathe. Then he whispered, Esther is Amara's daughter? His mother nodded. Yes. The room seemed to spin. Min Jae immediately thought about Esther. Her smile, her kindness, the way she held his hand, the way she had told him she loved him. He turned toward his father. Did you know who Esther was when she came into my life? His father hesitated. That hesitation was enough. Min Jae's face hardened. You knew. His father finally whispered, I recognize the surname. Then why didn't you tell me? Because I was afraid. Of what? That history would repeat itself. Min Jae stared at him. What history? His father looked at him. Your grandfather destroyed my relationship with Amara. He swallowed. And now your love for Esther could destroy you. Min Jae shook his head. No. His father frowned. No. You don't get to decide who I love. Esther sat alone in her apartment that evening. She had been waiting for Min Jae's call. But hours passed. Nothing. She tried calling him. No answer. She sent a message. Are you okay? No response. Her heart became uneasy. Then someone knocked on her door. Esther stood. Who is it? It's me. She recognized the voice. Min Jae. She quickly opened the door. The moment she saw his face, she knew something was wrong. Min Jae. He walked inside. Esther closed the door. What happened? He looked at her. For several seconds, he said nothing. Then he reached for her hands. I found the truth. Her heart started beating faster. About my mother? Yes. And he squeezed her hands. Your mother knew my father. Esther stared at him. What? They knew each other before I was born. Esther sat down slowly. What kind of relationship? Min Jae sat beside her. My father loved her. Esther covered her mouth. No, he wanted to marry her. Then why didn't he? His family rejected her. Esther's eyes filled with tears. My mother never told me. I don't think she wanted you to know. Esther looked down. Why? Because she wanted to protect you from what happened. Esther wiped her tears. My mother always said that some people are afraid of love when love doesn't look the way they expect. Min Jae looked at her. She was right. Esther looked up. What happened after she left Korea? We don't know. She's gone. She died several years ago. Esther froze. What? Min Jae's eyes filled with sadness. I'm sorry. Esther stared at the floor. She had known her mother was gone, but she had never known this part of her life. My mother loved someone here? Yes. And his family rejected her? Yes. Esther began crying. Min Jae immediately moved closer. He wrapped his arms around her. She leaned against his chest. I wish he had told me. I know. She shouldn't have carried that pain alone. Min Jae gently stroked her hair. You don't have to carry it alone either. Esther looked up at him. What happens to us now? Min Jae held her face gently. Nothing. But your family. I don't care. They might reject me. They already did. They might try to separate us. Let them try. She looked into his eyes. Are you sure? He nodded. I have never been more sure of anything. Esther placed her hand over his heart. You really love me? He smiled sadly. More than I know how to explain. She leaned forward and hugged him. He held her tightly. Then Esther whispered, I love you too. They remained like that for a long time. No dramatic promises. No grand speeches. Just two people holding each other, while the truth about their families threatened everything around them. The next morning, Min Jae received a call from his father. Come to the mansion. I have nothing to say to you. You need to hear this. What? If you marry Esther, you will lose your position in the company. Min Jae became silent. His father continued. You will no longer be my successor. Min Jae laughed bitterly. So that's your solution? I'm trying to protect you. No. His voice became cold. You're trying to control me. You don't understand what you're risking. I understand perfectly. You are willing to throw away everything for her? Min Jae didn't hesitate. Yes. His father went silent. Min Jae continued. If everything I have can be taken away because I love someone, then perhaps it was never really mine. He ended the call. That evening, Min Jae went to Esther's apartment. He didn't tell her about the ultimatum immediately. Instead, he brought food. Esther opened the door and smiled. You came. I missed you. You saw me this morning. I know. She laughed. Then she noticed his expression. Something happened. He nodded. My father gave me a choice. What choice? If I stay with you, I lose my position in the company. Esther's smile disappeared. Min Jae, I already chose. She looked at him. You chose me? Yes. She shook her head. No. He frowned. No. I don't want you to lose everything because of me. You are not making me lose anything. But your family. Esther. He stepped closer. You're not a burden. She looked into his eyes. I don't want to become the reason you regret your life. He gently took her hands. You could never make me regret loving you. Tears filled her eyes. You really mean that? Yes. She stepped closer. Then she wrapped her arms around him. He held her. And this time, Esther was the one who pulled him closer. I don't know what the future looks like, she whispered. Neither do I. But I don't want to run. Neither do I. She looked up. Then we faced it together. Min Jae smiled. Together. He kissed her forehead. She rested her head against his chest. And for the first time, they understood that their relationship wasn't simply a romance anymore. It was a choice. Every single day, they would have to choose each other. 3 days later, Esther received an unexpected package. There was no return address. Inside was an old photograph. She turned it over. Her mother's handwriting was on the back. If Esther ever finds this, she deserves to know everything. Esther's hands began shaking. There was another envelope. She opened it. Inside was a letter. Her mother's handwriting. Esther began reading. My beloved Esther, if you are reading this, then the truth has finally found you. There is something I kept from you, because I wanted you to have a life free from the hatred between two families. Your father was not the man you were told he was. And the Kong family was not the only family responsible for what happened to me. There was another person involved. Someone who wanted me out of Korea permanently. Someone who feared that my relationship with Kong Min-jae's father would expose a secret that could destroy both families. Esther, if you ever meet his son, be careful, because the person who destroyed my life may still be alive. Esther stopped breathing. She read the final sentence again. The person who destroyed my life may still be alive. Her phone suddenly rang. It was Min-jae. She answered. Hello? Esther, where are you? Home. Don't open your door. Her heart began pounding. Why? I just received information that someone has been asking questions about you. Who? I don't know yet. There was a pause. Then Min-jae's voice became urgent. Esther, listen to me carefully. What? Whatever happens. His voice dropped. Do not trust anyone who tells you they knew your mother. Esther looked down at the letter. Her hands trembled, because there was one name written at the bottom of the page. A name she recognized. A name belonging to someone who had been standing beside her since the very beginning. Esther stared at the name at the bottom of her mother's letter. Her heart began pounding. Kang Hyun-woo, Min-jae's older brother. The same man who had watched her from across the dinner table. The same man who had barely spoken to her. The same man who had seemed uncomfortable whenever she and Min-jae showed affection. Esther's fingers trembled. She immediately called Min-jae back. Min-jae, I'm here. I know who my mother was talking about. Silence. Who? Your brother. Another silence. Then Min-jae's voice became serious. Don't go anywhere. What happened? I'll be there in 10 minutes. Min-jae. Esther, please. The call ended. Esther locked the door. She stood in the middle of her apartment, clutching the letter. For the first time since meeting Min-jae, she felt afraid. Not of him. Never of him. She was afraid of the people surrounding him. Min-jae arrives. The front door opened. Esther. She rushed toward him. Min-jae immediately pulled her into his arms. Are you okay? She nodded against his chest. Yes. He held her tightly. I was scared. So was I. He pulled back and looked at her face. Show me the letter. She handed it to him. He read it carefully. When he reached his brother's name, his expression changed. Hyun-woo. Yes. He read the sentence again. My mother trusted him? No. Esther pointed to the handwriting. She said the person who destroyed her life might still be alive. Then she wrote his name. Min-jae stared at the paper. We need to find out why. He took Esther's hand. Come with me? Where? To someone who knew my father before he became powerful. The old house. They drove to a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of Seoul. An elderly Korean woman opened the door. When she saw Min-jae, her eyes widened. You look exactly like your father. Min-jae bowed. Mrs. Han, I need your help. Her eyes moved toward Esther. She became pale. Who is she? Min-jae answered quietly. Esther John. The old woman's hand went to her mouth. Oh. Esther stepped forward. You knew my mother? Mrs. Han stared at her for a long moment. Then tears appeared in her eyes. Yes. Esther's heart broke. Please tell me everything. Mrs. Han invited them inside. She sat down slowly. Your mother was a wonderful woman. Esther's eyes filled with tears. What happened to her? She fell in love with Min-jae's father. I know. Mrs. Han shook her head. You don't know everything. Min-jae leaned forward. What do we know? Mrs. Han looked at him. Your father didn't abandon Amara because he stopped loving her. Then why? Because someone threatened her. The room went silent. Who? Min-jae asked. Mrs. Han looked toward the window. Your grandfather. Min-jae froze. My grandfather? He told Amara that if she stayed with your father, he would destroy her family. Esther's breathing became shallow. My family? Yes. Mrs. Han continued. Amara had a younger brother in Nigeria. Your grandfather had people who could make his life very difficult. Esther covered her mouth. My uncle? Yes. Min-jae stood. So my grandfather threatened her family? Mrs. Han nodded. Your father tried to fight him, but he lost. He was young. Min Jae's eyes became filled with anger. And Hyun-woo? Mrs. Han looked at him. Your brother knew. Min Jae froze. He knew. He was young too, but he heard the conversations. Esther whispered, why would he help your grandfather? Mrs. Han looked down. He believed your mother was the reason your father was unhappy. Min Jae's face hardened. That doesn't explain what happened. Mrs. Han hesitated. Then she said, Hyun-woo was the one who gave your grandfather information about where Amara was staying. Esther's eyes widened. What? He betrayed her. Min Jae and Esther returned to the car in silence. Neither spoke for several minutes. Finally, Esther whispered, Min Jae. Yes. Your brother destroyed my mother's life. I know. Do you hate him? Min Jae stared through the windshield. I don't know. She reached across the center console and took his hand. He looked at her. You don't have to pretend you're okay. I know. She squeezed his hand. You can be angry. He turned his hand over and held hers. I am angry. I know. But I'm more worried about you. She looked at him. Why? Because if my brother was involved 27 years ago, I don't know what he's capable of now. Esther leaned closer. Then we face it together. Min Jae brought her hand to his lips and kissed it gently. I love you. She smiled. I love you too. He looked at her. Whatever happens, don't doubt that. I won't. That night, Min Jae confronted Hyun-woo. His brother was sitting alone in the family library. You knew about Amara. Hyun-woo looked up. Who told you? Answer me. Hyun-woo stood. You don't understand what happened. Then explain it. I was protecting the family. You betrayed a woman. I was trying to protect father. You gave grandfather information about her. Hyun-woo's expression changed. I was young. So was she. Silence. Min Jae stepped closer. Did you know Esther was her daughter? Hyun-woo looked away. Yes. Min Jae's eyes hardened. When? Before you met her. Then why didn't you tell me? Because I knew you'd fall in love with her. Min Jae froze. You knew? Hyun-woo laughed bitterly. You were always different around her. Why are you afraid of Esther? Hyun-woo didn't answer. Min Jae grabbed the photograph from his pocket. He placed it on the table. What is the secret? Hyun-woo stared at it. Then he whispered, your grandfather didn't just threaten Amara. What else did he do? He paid someone to make sure she never returned to Korea. Min Jae's face changed. Who? Hyun-woo shook his head. I don't know. You're lying. I swear. Min Jae stepped back. Then Hyun-woo said something that stopped him. There was one person who knew. Who? Hyun-woo looked directly at him. Mother. Min Jae found his mother in the garden. Mother? She turned. Her eyes immediately told him she knew why he was there. You found out? Yes. She looked down. I should have told you. Why didn't you? Because I was ashamed. Of what? Of staying silent. Min Jae sat beside her. Did you know my grandfather threatened Amara? Yes. Did you know Hyun-woo helped him? Yes. And you did nothing? Tears rolled down her cheeks. I was afraid. Min Jae looked away. Then his mother reached for his hand. Your father loved Amara. I know. And I love your father. Min Jae looked at her. I didn't want to lose him. She took a breath. So I stayed silent. Min Jae's voice softened. Mother, she cried. I have regretted it for 27 years. He hugged her. For several seconds, neither spoke. Then she whispered, Esther is innocent. I know. Don't let our family's mistakes destroy her life again. I won't. Later that night, Min Jae returned to Esther. She was waiting outside her apartment. The moment she saw him, she ran toward him. He caught her. She wrapped her arms around his neck. Did you find out anything? Yes. What? He held her tightly. My family hurt your family. Esther closed her eyes. Then why are you still here? He pulled back. Because I'm not my family. She looked at him. And I'm not going anywhere. Esther touched his face. You promise? I promise. She smiled through her tears. Then she pulled him into a long embrace. He held her close. There was no fear between them. Only love. Only the certainty that whatever came next, they would face it together. Min Jae whispered, "You are my home." Esther's eyes filled with tears. "And you are mine." They stayed together beneath the quiet Seoul sky. But neither noticed a black car parked across the street. Inside it sat a man watching them. He slowly raised his phone. "She's with him." A voice answered from the other end. "Then it's time." The man looked at Esther. "And what should we do?" The voice replied, "Bring Esther John to me." The call ended, and the real danger finally began. The next morning began peacefully. Esther woke up to a message from Min Jae. "Good morning, my love." She smiled. She had become accustomed to his affection. But every time he called her my love, something warm moved through her chest. She replied, "Good morning. Did you sleep well?" His answer came quickly. "Not really. I was thinking about you." She laughed. "You think about me too much." Impossible. Esther placed the phone against her chest. She was smiling when another message arrived. "I'll pick you up at 6. Dinner tonight. Just you and me. No family. No business." She typed, "I can't wait." At 6 o'clock, Min Jae arrived, but Esther wasn't outside. He called her. No answer. He called again. Nothing. His smile disappeared. He went upstairs and knocked. "Esther?" Silence. He knocked harder. "Esther, it's me." Still nothing. He called her phone again. This time, he heard it ringing. Inside the apartment. His heart dropped. He opened the door. Esther. Her phone was lying on the floor. Her handbag was beside the sofa. One of her shoes was near the kitchen. The apartment looked normal, but Esther was gone. Min Jae's breathing became heavy. He immediately called security. "Lock down the building." "Yes, sir." "Check every camera." "Right away." Min Jae picked up Esther's phone. There was one unread message from an unknown number. He opened it. "If you want her alive, come alone." His blood ran cold. Min Jae stared at the screen. Then another message arrived. "You have 2 hours." Underneath, it was a photograph. Esther. She was sitting in a dark room. Her hands were tied, but she was conscious. Min Jae's heart shattered. "Esther?" He immediately called the number. A disguised voice answered. "Hello, Kang Min Jae. Where is she?" "You know where. Let her go." A quiet laugh. "You sound worried. If you touch her, don't threaten me." Min Jae clenched his fist. "What do you want?" "Your family." "What does that mean?" "You'll find out." "Why Esther?" "Because she is the one thing you cannot lose." Min Jae froze. The caller laughed. "Now you understand." The line went dead. Min Jae immediately drove to the family mansion. He entered his father's study. "Where is she?" His father looked confused. "Who?" "Esther." His father's face changed. "What happened?" "She was taken." His mother stood up. "Oh, God." Min Jae placed the phone on the desk. "They sent me this." His father looked at the photograph. His face became pale. "I know that place." Min Jae turned sharply. "What?" His father pointed at the background. "That's an old warehouse belonging to our company." "Where?" "Near Incheon." Min Jae immediately turned toward the door. His father stopped him. "Don't go." Min Jae turned. "That's my wife you're talking about." His father froze. Min Jae's voice shook with anger. "I love her." His father lowered his eyes. "And I will bring her home." Esther slowly opened her eyes. Her wrists were tied, but not tightly enough to stop her from moving. She looked around the room. Old warehouse. One door. 2 windows. 1 camera in the corner. She remembered what Min Jae had taught her. When you're frightened, don't panic. Look for an exit. She took a slow breath. Then she heard footsteps. The door opened. A man entered. Esther recognized him. It was the same man she had seen outside her apartment. "Who are you?" He smiled. "You don't remember me?" No, you should. Esther remained silent. He placed a chair in front of her. Your mother knew my family. Esther's eyes narrowed. What do you want? Revenge. For what? My father lost everything because of the Kong family. Esther shook her head. And you kidnapped me because of something they did? You are the daughter of Amara John. Yes. You are the last connection to the woman who destroyed my family's plans. Esther frowned. My mother didn't destroy anything. She survived. The man leaned closer. That was enough. Esther looked at him. You're afraid of the truth. His expression changed. What did you say? You're not doing this because you're powerful. She stared directly into his eyes. You're doing it because you're afraid. He slapped the table. Be quiet. Esther didn't flinch. You're afraid that Min Jae will discover everything. The man's face tightened. Esther smiled slightly. And he will... Min Jae arrived at the warehouse with his brother. Hyunwoo looked at him. You shouldn't go inside alone. I have to. I'll come with you. No. Min Jae, you've already made enough mistakes. Hyunwoo lowered his eyes. I know. Min Jae looked at him. Then help me fix this one. They entered together. Inside, they heard a woman's voice. Min Jae. His heart stopped. Esther. He ran toward the voice. The kidnapper appeared. Stop. Min Jae froze. Esther was behind him. Her hands were still tied. Let her go. You came. I told you I would. The man smiled. You really love her. Min Jae didn't hesitate. Yes. Esther's eyes filled with tears. He looked directly at her. I'm here. She nodded. I knew you would come. The kidnapper pulled out his phone, then listened carefully. He showed them another document. This is what your family has been hiding. Min Jae looked at it. His face changed. It was an old financial transfer. His grandfather had paid a large amount of money to someone 27 years ago. The recipient's name was clearly visible. Kang Hyunwoo. Min Jae turned slowly. His brother's face went pale. No. Min Jae stared at him. Hyunwoo. His brother shook his head. I didn't know. The kidnapper laughed. You were young, but you took the money. Hyunwoo stepped backward. I didn't know what it was for. Min Jae stared at him. Tell me the truth. Hyunwoo's eyes filled with tears. I was 17. Tell me. I thought grandfather wanted me to deliver money to someone. Who? I don't know. Esther suddenly noticed something. The kidnapper wasn't watching Min Jae. He was watching Hyunwoo. Esther whispered, Min Jae? He looked at her. Look at him. Min Jae understood. The kidnapper wasn't after the Kong family. He was using their family history to hide something else. Esther continued. He knows more than he's saying. The kidnapper's expression changed. Esther smiled. You made a mistake. What? You told us too much. Suddenly, police sirens could be heard outside. The kidnapper's face went pale. Min Jae had secretly activated the emergency signal on his phone before entering. The man grabbed Esther, but Min Jae moved immediately. He pulled Esther toward him. Run! They rushed toward the exit. The police stormed the warehouse. The kidnapper was arrested. Esther ran straight into Min Jae's arms. He held her tightly. I thought I'd lost you. She buried her face against his chest. You found me. I will always find you. She pulled back and touched his face. I love you. His eyes became wet. I love you more than anything. She hugged him again. This time, he held her like he never wanted to let go. Later that night, Esther and Min Jae sat together in his apartment. The city lights reflected through the windows. Esther rested her head on his shoulder. Is it finally over? Min Jae looked at her. I wish I could say yes. She sighed. There is still something. Yes. What? He took her hand. The document from the warehouse. He placed it on the table. Esther looked at it. The financial record had one final line. A name. Not Hyunwoo. Not Min Jae's grandfather. Someone else. Kang Dae-sung. Esther frowned. Who is that? Min Jae's face became pale. My grandfather's younger brother. Is he alive? Min Jae looked toward the window. No. Esther stared at him. Then why is his name there? Min Jae slowly turned back toward her. Because he died 27 years ago. Silence. Esther's heart began pounding. Then who made the payment? Min Jae looked at the document. I don't know. Esther took his hand. Whatever it is, she moved closer. We'll find out together. Min Jae smiled. He gently kissed her forehead. Together. And for the first time, Esther realized something. Their love story had begun with a simple dinner, but it had become something much bigger. Their families had secrets. Their pasts were connected. Enemies were emerging from the shadows. Yet every time the world tried to separate them, they chose each other. Min Jae pulled Esther closer. She rested against his chest. Neither knew what tomorrow would bring, but they knew one thing. Whatever happened next, they would face it together. The following morning, Min Jae sat in his office staring at the document. The name wouldn't leave his mind. Kang Dae-sung, his grandfather's younger brother, a man who had supposedly died 27 years ago. He picked up his phone. Find everything on Kang Dae-sung. His secretary hesitated. Sir, we already have his records. He died in 1999. I don't want the official record. Min Jae's voice became firm. I want everything that was hidden. Yes, sir. He ended the call. A few minutes later, Esther entered. She was carrying 2 cups of coffee. You didn't sleep. Min Jae looked at her. Neither did you. She smiled. I was worried about you. He stood and walked toward her. And I was worried about you. She handed him the coffee. Then we have a problem. What? We're both terrible at sleeping. He laughed. She smiled. For a moment, everything felt normal. Min Jae gently touched her cheek. Are you sure you're okay? Yes. After everything that happened? Esther nodded. Because you're here. He pulled her into his arms. I'll always be here. She wrapped her arms around him. Then don't let go. Never. They stayed together for several seconds. Then Esther whispered, Min Jae. Yes. I don't want our entire relationship to become about our families. He looked at her. I don't either. Then let's have one normal day. He smiled. What do you want to do? Nothing rich people do. He laughed. Such as walk around Seoul, eat street food, go somewhere ordinary. You want me to eat street food? Yes. You're trying to destroy a billionaire. She laughed. Come on. He took her hand. Fine. That afternoon, they walked through a busy Seoul market. For once, Min Jae wasn't surrounded by bodyguards. He wore a simple jacket and baseball cap. Esther looked at him and laughed. What? You look like you're hiding from the police. I'm hiding from my employees. She laughed again. They bought snacks from a street vendor. Min Jae took one bite. He immediately frowned. Esther burst out laughing. You don't like it? It's too spicy. You're a Korean billionaire. And you're supposed to handle spicy food. That's a stereotype. She laughed so hard that she nearly dropped her food. Min Jae watched her. He loved seeing her like this. Happy. Free. He reached for her hand. She looked down. Their fingers intertwined. You're holding my hand in public. Yes. People might recognize you. I don't care. She smiled. Why? Because I want everyone to know I'm with you. Her expression softened. She moved closer. And I'm proud to be with you too. He stopped walking. What? She smiled. I said I'm proud to be with you. He gently touched her face. Say it again. No. Please. She laughed. No. He leaned closer. Esther. She looked into his eyes. I love you. His expression softened. I love you too. She wrapped her arms around him. He held her tightly. For a few seconds, they forgot about everything. No family. No secrets. No enemies. Just the two of them. But their peaceful moment was interrupted by Min Jae's phone. His secretary. He answered. Sir, we found something. Min Jae's smile disappeared. What? There is evidence that Kong Dae-sung did not die when the records say he did. Min Jae froze. Explain. We found a bank transaction made under his identity 6 years after his supposed death. Min Jae's eyes widened. Where? Switzerland. Send everything to me. Yes, sir. He ended the call. Esther immediately knew. It's about him. Min Jae nodded. He may still have been alive. Esther squeezed his hand. Then let's find him. That evening, Esther received a strange call. She answered. Hello. A woman's voice whispered. Esther John. Yes. Who is this? You don't know me? Then why are you calling? I knew your mother. Esther's heart stopped. Who are you? The woman didn't answer. Instead, she said, your mother didn't leave Korea because she wanted to. Esther stood. What do you mean? She was forced to disappear. By whom? Find Kong Dae-sung. Esther's breathing became faster. Who are you? I am someone who owes your mother a debt. The line went dead. Esther immediately called Min Jae. He answered. Esther? Someone just called me. What happened? She said she knew my mother. Min Jae became serious. What exactly did she say? Esther told him everything. When she finished, Min Jae was silent. Then he said, Don't go anywhere. Min Jae! Please. She heard the fear in his voice. I don't want anything happening to you again. I'll stay here. I'll be there soon. When Min Jae arrived, Esther was waiting. He walked straight toward her. You're safe? Yes. He pulled her into his arms. She held him tightly. I knew you would come. I told you. He kissed her forehead. I'm always coming. She smiled. Then she noticed something. What's that? Min Jae was holding a file. I found the woman. Who? The person who called you. Esther's eyes widened. Already? She contacted one of our old employees. Who is she? Min Jae opened the file. A photograph fell onto the table. Esther picked it up. Her face changed. She recognized the woman. She was in my mother's photograph. Min Jae stared at her. Who is she? My mother's best friend. Esther's voice trembled. She was with my mother when she left Korea. Min Jae's eyes narrowed. Then she knows what happened. They met the woman the following morning. Her name was Grace Okoro. She was older now, but Esther immediately recognized her from the photograph. The moment Grace saw Esther, she began crying. My God! Esther rushed toward her. You knew my mother? Grace hugged her. Yes. Esther cried against her shoulder. Please tell me what happened. Grace sat down. Your mother loved you more than anything. I know. She wanted to return to Nigeria. Why didn't she? Grace looked toward Min Jae. Because she discovered something. What? Your grandfather wasn't the only person involved. Min Jae leaned forward. Who else? Grace lowered her voice. Kong Dae-sung. Min Jae froze. He was alive? Yes. For how long? Years. What did he want? Grace looked at Esther. He wanted your mother to disappear because she knew about money that had been stolen from the Kong family. Min Jae's eyes widened. What money? Millions. Grace continued. Dae-sung had secretly transferred company money into foreign accounts. Your grandfather discovered it, but before he could expose him, Dae-sung blamed Amara. Esther whispered, My mother was framed. Yes. Min Jae's fist tightened. And my father? He believed Amara was guilty at first. Esther's eyes filled with tears. He didn't believe her? Eventually he learned the truth. Then why didn't he come for her? Grace looked down. Because by then, Dae-sung had threatened your mother. With what? Your life. Esther froze. My life. Grace nodded. Amara was told that if she tried to return to Korea, you would be harmed. Esther covered her mouth. My mother sacrificed everything for me. Yes. Grace reached into her bag. There is one more thing. She handed Esther an old envelope. This was meant for you. Esther opened it. Inside was a small letter. Her mother's handwriting. She read it with trembling hands. My precious Esther, if you ever read this, remember one thing. None of what happened was your fault. I left because I loved you. I stayed away because I wanted you to live without fear. If you ever meet a man who loves you, don't run from that love because of what happened to me. You deserve a love that stays, a love that protects you, a love that chooses you every day. Your mother will always love you. Esther couldn't hold back her tears. Min Jae moved beside her. She turned toward him. He opened his arms. She immediately stepped into them. He held her while she cried. I wish she could have met you, Esther whispered. Min Jae kissed her forehead. She would have loved you even more than I do. Esther smiled through her tears. That's impossible. He smiled. Maybe. She looked up at him. You really are my love. And you're mine. That night, Min Jae received an anonymous message. I know where Dae-sung is. Below it was an address. Min Jae stared at it. He knew it could be a trap, but he also knew they couldn't keep running. He told Esther. She immediately shook her head. No, Esther, you're not going alone. I don't want you in danger. And I don't want you in danger either. He stared at her. She took his hands. You said we're facing this together. He smiled. I did. Then together. He nodded. Together. They arrived at the location. An abandoned mansion outside Seoul. The doors opened before they reached them. Inside was a man sitting beside a fireplace. Older, gray-haired, but unmistakably powerful. Min Jae stopped. Kong Dae-sung. The man smiled. So you finally come. Esther stood beside Min Jae. Dae-sung looked at her. You look exactly like your mother. Esther's voice was steady. You destroyed her life. Dae-sung laughed. No. He stood. Your mother destroyed herself by trusting the wrong people. Min Jae stepped forward. You framed her. I protected myself. You stole from my family. I took what I believed I deserved. You threatened her. Dae-sung smiled. Your family was weak. I simply understood how to use their weaknesses. Esther stepped forward. My mother sacrificed her entire life for me. Dae-sung looked at her, and she made the right choice. Esther's eyes filled with anger. No. She took Min Jae's hand. She made the choice of a mother who loved her daughter. Dae-sung looked at their joined hands. You think your love will survive this family? Min Jae squeezed Esther's hand. Yes. Dae-sung laughed. Love doesn't survive power. Min Jae looked directly at him. Then watch us. Suddenly, the doors opened. Police officers entered. Dae-sung's smile disappeared. Min Jae had recorded the entire conversation. The evidence was enough. Dae-sung was arrested. For the first time in decades, the truth was finally coming into the light. Weeks later, the Kong family empire was going through major changes. The truth about Dae-sung became public. Min Jae's father apologized to Esther. I failed your mother, he said. Esther looked at him. Yes. He lowered his head. I can't change the past. No, but I want to make things right. Esther nodded. Then honor her memory by never allowing another person to be rejected because of where they come from. His eyes filled with tears. I promise. Min Jae stood beside Esther. His mother approached her and held her hand. Welcome to our family. Esther smiled. Thank you. For the first time, she didn't feel like an outsider. She felt accepted. 3 months later, Min Jae took Esther to the same restaurant where they had shared their first dinner. The city lights were glowing below them. Esther smiled. You brought me here again. Yes. Why? He stood. Then he walked around the table. Esther looked confused. Min Jae. He reached into his pocket. Her eyes widened. He lowered himself onto one knee. Esther John. She covered her mouth. I know our story hasn't been easy. He smiled. But every difficult moment taught me something. He took her hand. I don't want a life without you. Tears filled her eyes. I want to wake up beside you. He opened the ring box. I want to take care of you. Her tears fell. I want to grow old with you. He smiled. And I want to choose you every single day for the rest of my life. He looked into her eyes. Esther, will you marry me? She didn't answer immediately. She simply stared at him through her tears. Then she laughed softly. Yes. Min Jae stood. She threw her arms around him. He held her tightly. She kissed his cheek. I love you. I love you too. They held each other while the city glittered beneath them. Their love had survived rejection, secrets, family hatred, kidnapping, and a buried history that had nearly destroyed both families. But love had done what money and power couldn't do. It had brought two broken histories together and given them a new beginning. The wedding took place in Seoul. Esther walked down the aisle in an elegant white gown. Min Jae stood waiting for her. When he saw her, his eyes filled with tears. She smiled. He whispered, "You're beautiful." She whispered back, "And you're nervous." He laughed. "A little." She reached him. He took her hands. "I've got you." She smiled. "I've got you too." They exchanged their vows. Not promises of a perfect life. Promises of something more important. To choose each other. To care for each other. To stand together when life became difficult. And when they finally kissed, the room erupted in applause. Later that night, away from everyone else, Esther and Min Jae stood together beneath the Seoul lights. She rested her head on his shoulder. "Do you remember our first dinner?" "Yes." "You were so serious." "I was nervous." "You." He laughed. "Because of you." She looked at him. "And now," he wrapped his arms around her, "now I'm completely in love with you." She smiled. "I love you too." He kissed her forehead, and Esther realized something. Her mother had once written that she deserved a love that stayed. She had found it, not because Min Jae was a billionaire, not because he was powerful, but because when the world gave them 100 reasons to walk away, they kept choosing each other. And somewhere beneath the Seoul night sky, their story truly began. Thank you for listening and watching the story.